this took about 2 years for us to write. Come on in. We're talking a little bit about our book, and with mine is about 9 months, and it started after Peyton was at the end of 3rd grade in a local school, and I picked her up from a play date one afternoon, and lo and behold, the mother told me that the girls had been talking about the fact that Peyton 2 months earlier had been asked for sex in the 3rd grade at the lunch table. And after I picked up my jaw off the floor, I asked Peyton later on why she hadn't come to me, and she said because she didn't want to get the boy in trouble. And so I thought, oh my goodness, if I don't create some kind of atmosphere for her to feel comfortable to come and talk to me about these issues, forget middle school or high school. So we started this book together, and it's been a process of putting together conversations that have worked for us and that haven't worked for us, revealing a lot of mistakes that have been made and also some triumphs. And what would you say, Pete, are some of the things that the benefits for you in this book? What's happened for us?
I've learned how to talk more and share my feelings with you more.
I'm so appreciative of that. Have you seen some changes in me?
Sort of. You got relaxed or
More relaxed to be able to kind of allow some conversation to naturally come up. What were some of the favorite chapters or the parts of this that you liked?
spending money. Mom was wrong a lot.
Mom is wrong a lot, and we know that. Okay, we're going to actually read from that chapter. The structure of the book is basically intended for working parents who I found at the end of a long day of working full-time, getting homework together, getting dinner together, that I didn't have the creative capacity to go underneath all of the energy there to try to connect. And so each chapter is probably only a few pages in length, and then there's a section called Peyton's Point of View, and what do you say in that?
I tell my opinion of things and talk to the kids and the parents.
Because kids are probably more likely to relate to you than to me. And so then at the end of each chapter, there's a section of questions to help create conversations, continue conversations, and hopefully bring you to a deeper place. And you know what? The reality is that it did bring us to a deeper place. So we want to read a little bit from Mom is Wrong a Lot, one of your favorites. Page 35, thank you. And Peyton's going to start with, after the chapter, Peyton's point of view.
It's very important to see that Mom makes mistakes and admits them, because it makes me feel that everyone makes mistakes in life, not just little kids. All kids think when they make mistakes is, am I going to get in trouble? And they don't want to admit it. But all you have to do is admit it, and it could be fine. But if you wait like 2 days, you can get into lots of trouble.
Hopefully that doesn't happen. So here are some of the questions that are posed at the end of the chapter. Questions for reflection first for parents. Do you admit when you're wrong or when you've made a mistake to your kids? Do you admit you're wrong to your partner or spouse? How do you do it? Do you get angry or shameful? Do you cry? Are you passive aggressive? Do you do it right away or does it take a while? When you were a child, how did your parents handle it when they were wrong? Do your children admit it when they are wrong? And then questions for reflection between parents and children together. Parent to child. When was the last time you remember that I was wrong or made a mistake about something? How do you think I handled myself? Do you think I should have done it differently? And if yes, how? What have you learned, if anything, from my mistake? When I last corrected you, did I handle myself correctly? If not, how could I have done it differently? Did you feel loved in the middle of the consequences, discussion, or struggle? And is there anything left over from that time that we need to talk about now? So that's just a sampling. There are lots of, the structure is also 7 major chapters with many, many sub-chapters in them. Everything from how to talk about, is the glass half empty or glass half full? Gratitude, because we live in a time when it was very different than when I was growing up. There are a lot of different influences. So cyberbullying is discussed some, all about money. We talk about giving, saving, and spending money. We talk about body image and the challenges and what's really age appropriate for kids this age to be talking about. We talk about spirituality. I'm a 20-year clergy member and have worked with multiple faith groups. And so how do you encourage a spiritual life inside your child? And many more things. Dealing with divorce. In the process of this, I was separated and now divorced. We talk about some of the difficulties of that and how that affects, the broader community around, and how important it is to have a broader community of support around children. It really does take a village to raise a child, I firmly believe. So who are the people that you invite into your child's life that will have an impact on them? Fighting fairly. How do you fight fairly with siblings, and how do you, as adults, what's appropriate and not appropriate to fight about in front of your kids? So those are just some of the things in here. And I will say that it meant so much to me when I heard you say one time that as a result of this book that you realized how much I loved you. And that just, we figure that if anybody has helped even with one conversation, that it's done its work, because it's already proven to help us in our relationship. So we welcome your signings, and thank you so much for coming today and supporting us. This has really been a community effort, and we look forward to being out and about in the community. So thanks.